couple more quickies here. All right. I'm just attempting to give you what you might need in the field. All right. What's it say? We, us, our. What am I asking you to do? Speak in terms of what? Speak in, yes, very good. Speak in the language that you use. You're languaging. What's the word? You're languaging. It's very important that everyone feels included, that they feel part of the team. Yes or yes? And so you use team language, plural language, us, our, we language. Did you know that the word we instead of I is known as the Queen's language? The Queen's language. They use we versus I. And it's very, very well thought out. It's the language of royalty. Why? Because if you're a strong leader will not be someone who puts too much emphasis on themselves. If everything is I, raise your hand if you know people who use the word I every 5 seconds. I. Don't you just want to smack them in the face? You hate them. Yes or no? You know, just like I. Everything is I. And, I got to give you my pet peeve in the world. Okay? I have a few of them, but this is my biggest one. I hate when I'm sitting in a restaurant and the waiter, comes over and you order the salmon and they go, sorry, I'm all out of salmon tonight. What are you, the frickin' fisherman? What the hell? You're all out of salmon? I'll ask my kitchen and see what they can do. Well, I didn't know. I was talking to the owner of the restaurant here. What are you, the owner here? You know, raise your hand if you've ever heard that. Who the hell is their freaking waiter? My salmon? The owner paid for the fisherman. The owner paid for the fish. And the owner pays for this freaking restaurant and the kitchen. You make $8 an hour. You understand? It bugs me. All right. So, to me, I, me, and my very often sound arrogant. What do they sound? Arrogant. So, who would you rather follow? I can do it, or we can do this? Yeah. I'll get it done, or let's get it done. This is my time, or this is our time. And yet people talk with the I all the time. All right, so all together, here's the saying. I use we, us, and our whenever possible. Again, please. One more time, twice as loud. One hoo-ah, ready? Hoo-ah! Excellent. Okay. When you ask a lot of people what the number one attribute, the number one what? Number one what? Of a leader is, many people will state the following. What's the word, please? Raise your hand if that might be one of the ones that you would suggest. Very good. Yeah, inspire. A good leader, what do? They inspire people, yes? They move them. Again, let's go to the definition in the dictionary. The definition of inspire, to encourage people to greater efforts. That's the essence of what a leader does, yes or yes? What's the definition? To encourage people to greater efforts. One more time. Excellent. So raise your hand if you want to inspire people. Where are you? All right, good. So how do you inspire people? Number one, use all the tools we've just learned so your communication is effective. Yes or yes? That alone will do it. And number two, with your passion. Passion, enthusiasm is contagious. You cannot be an effective leader and be a frickin' bore. No one will listen. If you're not excited, guaranteed they won't be excited. And if they're not excited, how can they go to greater efforts? Understand? You're not understanding. Understand? Enthusiasm, passion is contagious. Why? Because it's made up of what? Energy. And energy is transferable, yes? It's automatically transferable. Like if I just, talk like this for the last hour and a half, no matter what the topic or the same words, you'd be like on the floor stabbing yourself, just killing yourself and dying a slow death and say, how can I get out of here? Because I don't know if I can even speak louder, and as loud as I speak, it wouldn't. Do you understand? All right. So, having said that, listen closely. This is very important. Having said that, passion does not necessarily mean emotion. Got it? There's a difference. Passion does not very necessarily mean emotion. And emotions have their place, but they're not very good on the battlefield. They are not very good on the battlefield. When emotion goes up, intelligence goes down. We make very unintelligent decisions when we're emotional. Yes or yes? They're clouded. So you've got to be inspirational, but you can't be emotional. A good leader does not get emotional. Now, we all do it, don't we? Hey, I do it. I get emotional. I go, what the frick? My staff knows me enough to go, okay, just don't listen to it for the first 10 seconds. And they go, okay, fine. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Yes? Yeah. So I'm still working too. But at least I know the difference. It used to be for half an hour, rant and rave. Now it's just the first 10 seconds. I'm better. I've gone to Leadership's Anonymous and... Okay. So same thing. When the drama is up, the leadership goes down. Let me hear you. When drama is up... All right. The third way, raise your hand if you want to hear the third way to inspire people. You give them the what? The reason. Reason. The bigger, remember Jim Rohn said this, the bigger the why, the easier the how. Yes? So what's the reason that they're there? What, the greater reason for what you're doing and why it's important, then the greater buy-in that you'll get. You actually have to sell the idea. Like, why should they go through all this trouble? So whatever you're doing as a leader, you've got to sell it. Yes or yes? You've got to motivate them to want to do this. What are the benefits? Why is this important? How will they feel coming home winners versus losers? You have to elicit the whatever it takes in them. Yes or yes? Very important that you sell it. You sell it by giving them the reasons. Why do you think they have a Super Bowl? Why do you think they have a trophy? It's the eye on the prize. What are we going to win? You get to have the ring for the rest of your life. Imagine what that's going to feel like. And that's what the coach is saying at halftime in the Super Bowl. Guys, I can smell that ring. We're down by 20, but we've got to come back here. We've got some momentum here. We scored the last 3 points. That ring on that finger. And they'll have stuff on the walls. That, benefits, yes or yes? Okay. So here's what it says. I use reason and passion to inspire people. Let me hear you. I use reason and passion to inspire people. One more time. I use reason and passion to inspire people. One more time, twice as loud. I use reason and passion to inspire people. One hurrah, ready? Hurrah! All right. Last but not least. Are you guys going to be great communicators after this? I believe so. I believe so. Can you use this in other parts of your life? In every part of your life? Can you use it in your business? Use it with your friends? Use it with your relationship? Use it with your kids? This is big. Really, really big. What's it say, please? What's it mean? Make sure they understand what you said. It's up to you. And how do you make sure? You ask them. You get for what? Confirmation. How many times have you told somebody something to get you something, especially at work, and they deliver something completely different? Yes? Or you said something like, I need this by Monday, and you didn't get it. They come back and they go, I thought you meant you wanted me to start it on Monday. Things like that. Yes or yes? Raise your hand if you ever heard the Led Zeppelin song. It's called Communication Breakdown. Right? It's a really rocky song. You want to listen to that. The absolute best way to know they got the message that you want them to get is to get them to what? Repeat. Repeat your instruction in their own words and listen carefully that it's accurate and complete. Also, this serves as a review. What does it do? A review to make sure that they got it also. Now, when you ask them, that's the difference between someone who's a strong communicator and a weak one. When you ask them, you know, you don't want to put them down. You want to ask them in a certain way. You know, it's how you ask them. You personalize it. It's not, listen, Bob, I want you to repeat what I said exactly because you're so stupid, I doubt you understand it. You might want to say that, but don't say that, okay? You understand what I'm saying? Don't say that. Right? It's more something like, Bob, I want to make sure that I communicated clearly. Would you be kind enough to feed me back what I said so that I can make sure of that? Is that a little better? Yeah, so take it on yourself. I want to make sure that I was clear. Would you be kind enough to feed that back to me or repeat that with me or for me so I can make sure I got the message across properly? It's all about me. I'm the one who's got the problem with the clarity here. I need you to help me. Understand? Yes or yes? So the words you use are up to you, but you've got to get what? All right. All together. I get confirmation on my communication. Let me hear you. I get confirmation. Again. One more time, please. One, hoo-ah, ready? Hoo-ah. Okay, how many people think you now have some tools to be a much better communicator?